Hey guys, what's up? In this video, I want to showcase these new headlights that I've been working on for the past few weeks. They don't look like anything special, but I promise you a lot of work has gone into these to essentially make these plug and play. So I'm going to go over what I did, how I did it, and then show you guys, I guess, some of the functions of them. So this is an aftermarket set of headlights. The bezel came black already. Technically it's not black, it's like a tinted chrome. It's a really weird color, and I didn't understand that there was a difference until I painted some stuff and seen that, hey, this is a different shade of black. But I ended up blacking the side marker out right here, and also ended up blacking the turn signal housing out up there, just to make it all look uniform and look good. I don't like orange in headlights, and I felt like the chrome in the turn signal reflector would have been too much and taken away from the shrouds. I did the turbine shrouds. I got those from eBay, relatively cheap. And then I also added a dummy projector into the parking light area. And to be honest, that dummy projector is the entire reason I did not record the process, because it was a pain in the butt and I was getting frustrated, and it was just too much. If you don't know what a dummy projector is, it has the projector look, but it's actually not functional, hence the name dummy. There's not a HID bulb behind it, it's just a LED parking light behind it. When it's illuminated, it should look fairly similar to the low beam though. One thing I did, my back, I was able to retain all of the factory wiring. So what you see right here, this harness is from the factory, and the only extra wire that comes out of these lights is going to be right here. I added a cable gland, wired both of these shrouds together to one harness, and then that harness just comes out in the corner right there, just to make it easier when it comes to wiring these things up. That's one thing I've been trying to get better on as I do more and more headlights, is making it all look clean and kind of foolproof essentially. So I didn't record opening these lights up. There are 1,000,001 videos on YouTube on how to do that. I put mine in the oven for about 10 minutes at 240 degrees. It pulls right apart. Whenever you go to seal them back up, add some extra butyl sealant into the channel, push it back together, and then what I do, because I never plan on opening these things up again, I add black silicone around the edges. And I use tape, even though it doesn't look like it, just to make the tape line a lot cleaner. You really can't tell right there, but like up top, you can see that that's a smooth line right there. And that's just to ensure that they don't leak or anything like that. So yeah, that's a quick overview of the light. They look great from a distance, and I'm looking at them right now up close and they look great, but I'm not a professional, and I do want to show you some of the places where I messed up at. So let's get into it. Turn these lights on. So thing number one that I don't like, these shrouds are a lot smaller than the original OEM G37 shroud, so you can see a lot more back there. You can see that white wire right there and my silica packet back there. One thing I do want to add is this projector, and this one too, it has a clear lens, and what that does is it makes your cutoff way more sharp, makes the lights brighter, and it adds like that colorful blue and purple color flicker is what they call it in there. But yeah, so you can see a lot more in there. And then this is also the same. You can see a lot more behind the dummy projector. Now about the dummy projector, I hadn't seen anyone do a full-size shroud back there, and I see why, because it's honestly a pain in the butt. So much cutting goes into it, so much trial and error, putting it together, seeing that it doesn't work, pulling it back out, making revisions again, just over and over and over and over. So that was a new experience, and like I said, that's the reason I didn't record, just because I was getting so frustrated at cutting, it not working, cutting again and it not working, and finally cutting and it working. So one thing that I wanted to do is kind of be sure that I keep the orientation relatively the same. So as you can see, the low and high beam projector, it's by Xenon. It kind of points that way. I wanted the dummy projector to point the same way, just so it doesn't look goofy or anything like that. Another thing that is wrong with it, which you really can't tell, is this solder marker right here. It's on me. After I painted it, I always glue them back into place along with the extra screws just to make sure they don't come up. But after I glued it into place, I clamped it down, and I didn't know the paint wasn't cured. So there's like little indentions inside of here. But I have black touch-up paint that I just touched up on it, and it looks great. You can barely even tell. As for like the bulbs and stuff I'm using, I'm gonna try a white LED in the turn signal. I'm using an Osram CBB HID bulb in here. HID is way better than LED. We'll die on that hill. And then I just have a white T10 LED parking light in there. So that's enough of me yapping about these lights. There is the other one. It's built the exact same way. Let me show you guys the setup, because I do get some questions about my setup. And please excuse this countertop. It's been dirty since I've been doing YouTube videos. We clean it, it gets dirty, clean it, it gets dirty. But anyways, I just use a jump starter with the battery leads on it. This is the controller right here. This is a cheap controller that came with these projector shrouds. And then, like I said, I'm trying to make everything easier and more foolproof. So I have one connector coming out of each light that plugs into the controller. So let me power them up. I'm gonna turn the lights off. Turn that light off too. Get the orientation all right. So when they turn on, at least with this controller, they have a startup animation, and then they'll go to whatever color you did last. Just for testing purposes, I have basically it going on just every color. And I got these shrouds, man. I got them from eBay. They were like 67 bucks for 2 of them. So saved a lot of money there. Everything else I got from the Retrofit source. So one thing I really like about these shrouds, if I can get the brightness going on, is obviously the way they look and the way the light shines through the shroud, but it also makes it look like I have demon eyes in there, and I don't. It's just the way that the halo reflects off of everything, and that's the reason I left it chrome, because it has better reflective properties. Of course, these can be set to any color. These are addressable LEDs, and I do plan on using the same controller that I already have in the car. I'm tired of the AlphaRex headlights, man. They're really expensive. They aren't bright, and they don't have any width. So even though these are aftermarket projectors, I've already tested the projector in there, and it's light years better than the AlphaRex. With that clear lens swap, it should be night and day difference. So you guys know I have 5% on the entire windshield of my car, so I need to maximize the light output and have the most light output that I can possibly get. And I think these will do the trick. Turn it back off. But yeah, these are the new headlights for the Infiniti. I know I've been kind of going on and just yapping, but the AlphaRex headlights, they are for sale at the time of this video. I'm selling them for $1,500, and you got to be local to Nashville. $1,500 does sound steep, but if you know the price of the headlights without them being modified, plus all the stuff that I've done to them, basically I set those up the exact same way, but I just did a strip in there to replace the little strip. The only thing I will trade for is air suspension for the G37 Coupe. And when I say air suspension, I want the entire thing. Struts, management, the whole nine. So I think $1,500 is a good deal. So y'all just let me know. Going back to the back, this is really what I'm super impressed about, because the wiring can make or break a project. So I'm gonna go over this real quick with you, and then I'll show you guys how they look on the car, and then also how that clear lens looks, and to give you a better understanding of it. So I got that one plug coming out of the back of the light right there. Focus, focus, focus. Basically what you have to do is take the wires from each shroud, put them together, and then use some extra wire and just run it out the back, so you have one plug. The downside of this is both of those projector shrouds have to work. You can't have one on and not the other on. I'm also doing a resistor, just because I'm doing LED turn signals, so I don't want them to hyper flash. And these little T-taps right here, you won't have these on yours. And a lot of people talk crap about T-taps, but they haven't led me wrong yet, so I will continue using them. But these are for my independent fog lights and my LED emblem. And I do want to go over really briefly this extra wire right here. I don't know if this is going to work, so I will update you just to I guess educate y'all. But with the G37 Coupes, the turn signal is a 7440 bulb, and 7440, it won't stay illuminated if the headlights are on. The only way that it'll illuminate is if you activate the turn signals. So I had the idea of tapping into the parking light to the turn signal just to see if that bulb will stay on when the headlights are on and still work when the turn signals are activated. So I don't know, we'll see. But that is an overview of these lights. Like I said, not perfect, but the main thing I was focused on was getting the orientation of this dummy projector right. Well, basically just getting this dummy projector in there, and then making sure everything's clean and uniform. And yeah, I guess one thing with this dummy projector as well, turn this light back on. I had to cut this bezel right here. I just took a Dremel and sander bit and just kind of cut off back there. That way this shroud could fit inside of there. So going back to this one, orientation isn't really the greatest, and I can't get my phone to focus. Orientation isn't like the greatest, but the naked eye won't be able to tell. So So in the next clip, I will show you what they look like on the car and how they look illuminated. I don't know if I've said it, but I'm using the existing controller that's in the car. It's from Next Level Neo. But yeah, here are the new lights. The headlights have been installed and wired up, so I figured now is the time to show you what they look like on the car. So I don't know if you can tell, but the lens, like I was saying earlier, or the bezel, is technically not black. It's like a smoke chrome, which I think kind of looks good because it kind of adds a little bit of contrast in there. I know I was talking about having the turn signals always be activated, but once I plugged them up, it didn't work. So the turn signals are just normal turn signals. But I did add a white LED in there. So no more amber turn signals at all anywhere on this car. Everything's converted to white, as well as the rear turn signals too. The dummy projector, it's in there. It looks kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I really don't mind it at all. Like I said earlier, the naked eye won't be able to tell that I kind of just put it in there and went off a whim. Let me turn the lights on for you real quick just to show you how they look at night or just when I'm driving. This should be all the way on. So you got to give the HIDs a little bit of time to warm up. Right now they look very blue, but that's with any HID setup. But once they're all the way warmed up, they match that LED in the dummy projector perfectly. I'll show you the independent fog lights along with the parking lights too. So if you didn't know what I meant by that, basically what I did is I tapped into the positive of the fog light, and then I tapped into the positive of the parking light in the headlight, and I could run the fog lights without the headlights, which I think is pretty cool. And next, let me turn the lights off. I will show you the show modes. I'm running the same controller, like I said, from Next Level Neo. It's their name brand controller. And with this one, it has the daytime running light animation, turn signal animation, and then the color animation. I don't have the DRL animation hooked up, and I don't have the turn signal animation hooked up, so I just have the color changing lights hooked up. So kind of hard to see during the day. But here they are. And kind of off topic, at the beginning of last month, I hit an armadillo and it completely tore the front bumper up. So this front bumper that you see right now is a brand new one. And I think it looks really good with the new headlights. I don't know if you remember, I had the little holes in the middle from the previous owner. I'm assuming a front plate was there. That's gone. And then a common problem with these cars is the hood to bumper fitment. So I got a factory bracket back in these places right here, and it looks really good. So I'm genuinely impressed. The paint match is absolutely perfect on it, and it kind of brings the car back to that OEM Plus look. I still have the 370Z rays. I've been thinking about throwing them back on there for the wintertime. Even though it really doesn't get too cold or snowy here, I feel like that would just kind of complete the OEM Plus look. And I know in the previous clip I said I was going to sell the AlphaRex headlights. After I pulled them off and cleaned them up a little bit, I think I'm going to retract that statement. At least as of right now. I don't want to sell them right now, so something may change in the future. But yeah, here is the car with the new headlights. And in the next clip, I will show you them at nighttime and how the clear lens swap is doing. And then also how, I guess kind of, they function. They're a lot better than the AlphaRexes in my opinion, even though these are aftermarket headlights. But so fast forward into the next clip and I will show you what they look like at night. The lights are installed and I'm in the process of aiming everything now. And this is what I got. So that clear lens allows you to have a sharp, colorful cutoff. You can see like the blue and purple up here. With the stock lens, it's not as sharp and it's not as bright. So I'll roughly aim the car. This is more than 25 feet, but get it away from a straight wall and just kind of, here's what I do. So when I'm eye level with the car, I want that color flicker to start. And it's gonna show up on the left one first because I'm standing in front of the left headlight. If I do the right one, it'll do the same. So yeah, this is one of the benefits of doing a clear lens swap on your Infiniti. This beam is a lot more colorful, straight, and longer than the AlphaRex headlights. So I realized I never showed you all what a clear lens swap actually is. And what it is you see the circle projector glass right there? It's removable. And on the Coupe, you have to remove the little ring, take the old one out, and put this one in. The factory one, it has lines in it to make that cutoff a lot smoother, whereas this one doesn't have any lines. It's just clear. And that's how you can see the sharp cutoff and the color flicker of the projectors now. They do make etch lenses and all kinds of fancy stuff, but in this one, I just opted to do the regular clear lens. But in the future, I may do a honeycomb lens or something like that. I realized I didn't do an outro to this video, but thank you for watching. I know this was a long video of me yapping and showing what I've done without actually showing you what I've done. I'll try to link everything in the description, but if you have any questions or anything, just leave a comment and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.